Hi all, welcome back to Amelia Finance. Today we're going to put our product manager hat on and think about and talk through the 4 key agile ceremonies that you as a product manager have to be involved in. So those ceremonies are sprint planning, daily stand-up, retrospective, and demos. And you'll have a little bit of a different exposure to each of them. So as a product manager, you have the vision of the product, whether it be a physical item like a granola bar, whether it is a new application, so an MVP, a minimal viable product, or if it's a feature of a really currently well-used, well-loved application today. So different formats, but essentially when it boils down to the things you're doing are the same across the board. So for sprint planning and estimating, you have the vision as the product manager, and you've built out user stories, often created like this, as a role. I want to action, so that end result. And you've built those out, you've built out personas, you've built out features, you've built out functionality in your mind that you want to be incorporated in part. And this product backlog could be very lengthy. Like, this is your vision, this is all the cool things you could ever do ever in this application or in this product that you're developing, this physical product. So you're just ideating, brainstorming, ideating. Then you've taken some time and you've thought about which ones are most important, right? Like, so you've prioritized them, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the most important ones that you have to go to market with in order for the product to be successful or be part of this theme or this initial set of time. So you've done all that work. Now you go to sprint planning, and this is around an hour to 2 hours even. And you're with your team of developers, your business analyst, your scrum master, any other key people that need to provide input into these user stories. And they go through and they provide level of effort, LOE estimates. They think about what they will need in order to do their job properly. Do they need to create diagrams? Do they need to have certain licenses? Do they need to have certain skill sets like in Java or Python? Do they need to be able to test out this granola bar, do taste testings? Do they need certain ingredients? Do they need to make sure that they can 3D print it before it goes live? So they're thinking about all the things that they will need in order to accurately estimate on your user stories. So from there, you may have to go and you might have to do another sprint planning time where after that initial sprint planning, you've gone and rethought through your scenarios, your backlog, you've added additional details, moved things up or down depending on what the pain or what has been highlighted during this meeting. And so this is a very intensive meeting. There's a lot of back and forth. It's a very positive meeting. You want to make sure it's a safe space that people can express their opinions and share if they have concerns, because you want the team to know that you're supporting them and that you're making sure that they're able to deliver appropriately. The second key ceremony is the daily stand-up. And this is something that you'll likely join, but you as a product manager are not saying much. You're really restraining yourself, and it's just for you to listen. So the sprint has been kicked off, you're in flight. The daily stand-ups are around 15 minutes or so, not very long, and it's for the team to tell the scrum master what they're working on, what they're planning to work on, and what blockers or pain points they have. And it's not for you to do anything as the product manager. You have the vision of the product. What you're supposed to do is listen and hear, what are the pain points? What are the challenges the teams are facing? Is this particular user story, will it get completed in the sprint? Is it really challenging? Why is it so challenging? Do they need a license? Do they need X or Y? What do they need that makes this particular item so much more difficult than others? Which then allows you to go, after hearing that and knowing what your priorities are, able to integrate that better in the backlog to really get that really vibrant backlog that the team can commit to and they execute on in the sprint. So what you're doing is you're just trying to understand what are the challenges being faced, and if you really want to talk about something, that's for you to take that time, set up a quick sync with your scrum master and have a one-to-one with them, really understanding in more detail what the challenges the teams are facing and why. Maybe you can probe or say, hey, I think this person's doing X, Y, or Z. Maybe we should adjust. So you can provide feedback then. But don't do it. It's best practice not to refrain from doing that in that daily stand-up. Meeting number 3. This is the retrospective. So most of these meetings are really where you join and you attend and you participate a little bit, but it's really for the broader team to share what they've done. So this is where the team says, these are the things we did well, the roses or the gems, these are the things that were painful, the thorns or the rocks, and these are the things that we could try and implement to make it go better. Sometimes this is buds, sometimes this is hidden treasure. So you could, if your Scrum Master wants, sometimes they'll theme it to be really fun like that, roses, thorns, buds, and sometimes they won't, right? It's up to their preference. It's actually not your responsibility. But what you're trying to do is you're just trying to listen to your team and hear what were the challenges they faced, why did they face those challenges, what can you do to improve or just help them along to make their day-to-day life easier, and how can you build that vision and where that journey and that mapping of where you're taking the product to the right place that intersects really well with your product team so they can deliver the right things at the right time. So once again, this is more of a listening opportunity for you. You can highlight a few things, but it's really the product team that's developing it. Whatever you're making, whether it be a physical item or a software item, this is for them to share what they needed, and for you to go and apply that feedback in future iterations. And last but not least, for the fourth Agile ceremony, it is demos. Once again, this is again for the team to really demonstrate what they've worked on and why it was so special. Perhaps you and your Scrum Master can facilitate this, but it's really an open space to let the team talk through what they did, what the challenge they faced, and how they solved it in order to deliver this item. And this is something to think about in storytelling when you're building your backlog. Thinking about maybe putting together themes, like perhaps you want to improve the navigation in this next sprint cycle, or you want to do, we're doing all UI, UX, customer experience items, or if you're building a physical item, it's all about the exterior of the bar, or the wrapper of the bar. And so when you build themes around what cycles you're doing or what sprints you're doing, it really helps to encourage and tell this more glamorous story about what you did, as opposed to, well, we did one thing over here in the back end, we did another thing here that was customer facing, we did another thing here to improve something. And those interior items that the customer won't see, very valuable. You have to have it. But at the same time, when you go to leadership or your key stakeholders and you want them to get excited, it's easier if you can already build that beautiful story that tells them what you're trying to do and why it's so exciting. So with that, those are the 4 key Agile ceremonies. Once again, sprint planning, daily stand-up, retrospective, and demos. And I'll do a sprint Scrum Master one shortly. So with that, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Thanks for watching Amelia Finance. Like, follow, ask questions.